There it
Oh,
is.
now it
All
does.
right. Yep. Good morning and welcome to the Angel and Tina morning show. Tina, how are you doing today?
Oh my gosh. I don't know about you, but last night I crashed. We had such a busy day yesterday with the Connect Summit. Such an amazing day. Amazing speakers, great content. It was such an amazing day, but whew,
Woo! They do take it out of you. It
right?
was fun. So this is day after, right? We have a little day after fatigue, which is why we're so excited to have the energy of the fabulous Chef Maribel in our kitchen today. How are you doing, darling?
I'm good. I'm good. I had a little gathering last night myself. So always after having people over, I'm a little sluggish, but not too much. So yes, great to be here.
Good to have you. Yeah, I think we are. We watched rocket launches last night. There were
Wait. Like real rockets?
yeah. So there was one took off out over Europe or from Europe. And so we watched it on
Oh, I
TV.
was like, and you seen it?
No. We watched it on TV because my husband's a NASA geek, right? He just like this whole like loves watching the rocket launches. Right?
Mr. Eye Candy is a NASA geek.
He is. And the countdown, right? And the engines oh yeah, it's so exciting. We watch them all the time. And so that was at 9:45.
Mhm.
Then at 11:45, they
Wait,
launched
we're up at
one.
11:45.
Girl. And like that's way past mama's bedtime.
Way past
Way
your
past
bedtime.
mama's bedtime.
So were you able to go outside and
But
watch?
yes. So we watched it. We had it on our iPad so we could see the launch pad and all the preamble. But then you could see it in the sky right above our house. It's about 60 miles east, right? It's Cape Canaveral, 60 miles east of our home. So, it's kind of far, but yeah, we could see it up in the sky from our driveway.
Wow.
It was so
Wow.
exciting. It's so
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
there were two. And then this weekend, so any of you like spacey geeks, this is a really cool weekend.
Space Cadet.
Um, they're sending home the crew this weekend. The first crew that went up a couple months ago. Did you watch? Did you watch
you
that?
watched?
Yeah,
I remember watched those.
we watched those, right? So they just sent up a second crew just the other day and I missed it. I don't know. I've been living under a Zoom rock or something because I totally missed it, that there was another one. They just sent up a new crew, but crew one is coming home this weekend. And so we'll get to watch them. I think Friday night they leave and then they get home on.
I've never seen this nerdy side of you before.
I don't know why. It's just kind of exciting. It's just kind
Well,
of
you
exciting.
have time to appreciate it now.
Right.
Well, and we
To
went.
Florida too, so she can.
We went.
Yeah.
So, right, what's it? January we went and
Oh
they
yeah.
like at midnight or whenever it was, in the middle of the night.
He's
And
like, get up, we're going.
yeah, he came in because we were on a call and he's like, Angel, I have a surprise for you. He had booked us a hotel on Cape Canaveral with a balcony that faced
You're like, what?
the launch pad.
Where are we going?
And so it was like 8:00 at night and we drove over there. It's about an hour away, checked into a hotel, right? And went to sleep for a couple hours, woke up and watched it. And we were like 3 miles away from it and it lit up the whole sky. It was
more of Jay's surprise than your surprise.
yeah, no, it was for him. It was totally for him. And then we had to get up in the morning because I had to be back here in time for the
You had
morning.
to drive back. You're like, guess what I did last night?
She's like, wait a minute, was that the plan? I'm like, nope. Jay looked, he's like, oh, there's one tonight. Let's go watch just because.
He's all in his element over there for sure. And you're in your element because of Disney. I need to make a trip. I need to make a trip down there and come see you.
Although, Disney, low attendance and park attendance and all of that. We have not been able to go. The girls have been blocked out. All the cast members are blocked out from visiting the parks because they're wanting to make room for actual guests. So we haven't been to the park. Well, we went a month, I guess it was early March. We went early March. We went to Animal Kingdom. but Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, they've been blocked out for months. And so they're getting antsy and they're kind of mad. But it's like the whole Disney blog here, right? So they are giving
And
every
speaking of the Disney blog, she's part of this Disney blog
I
because
do
she,
watch.
Yeah, you're part of the family.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's complete
Right.
like Disney, like she knows all the ends. So if you ever need
Totally
anything,
drink the Kool-Aid.
ask her.
So they, because they've been dealing with the masks and the social like all the stuff they've been dealing with, and they're so Disney came out and they are giving one free night to at a resort to every Disney person, like employee. So they get to stay at a resort, but it's like roulette Russian resort roulette. Yeah, so you pick your day, and then they send you the confirmation of the hotel that you get to stay at. And the girls get to stay at the Grand Floridian, which is like is such a beautiful
Are you gonna go
hotel.
stay with them?
Well, we'll probably go visit, right? We'll probably go visit because it's 20 minutes away. But they get to stay at the Grand Floridian. They was their hotel that they were given. So anyways, enough about me.
Like just for one night? I'm curious now.
Yeah, they get one night as a bonus, right? And so the girls, because they both work there, so they picked, like Lauren picked one night and Alicia picked the next night. And so they actually
and they
will
got
get
the same.
they got the same hotel, so they'll be there for 2 nights, and they did it on their days off, and so they get to stay at the Grand Floridian for 2 nights, and it's right around their birthday. So
happy birthday.
yeah.
Cool.
All right, Maribel, what are we making today? Because we all love your our cooking on the show.
Well, I had some grand ideas because Cinco de Mayo is right around the corner. And even though that's like really an American holiday, still, I think it's great to celebrate
American
foods
holiday they take to drink tequila.
Yeah. But you know what? I think it's kind of cool because people get to celebrate, or people are into celebrating the flavors of Mexico, even though it's still a little Americanized. So I wanted to do something with corn masa, which is like the corn dough that you can make many things from, tortillas, and like the tortillas for enchiladas, the dough for tamales. I mean, like everything comes from this dough, which I love talking about. However, I didn't get to the fresh factory, which I love. So today we are doing something a little bit more accessible, which will be flour tortillas. So everyone
homemade flour tortillas.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yes, you. I thought maybe you would like to learn.
I would love to learn.
Smell-o-vision, because let me tell you, for those of you who eat flour tortillas, like flour tortillas that you get in a package and flour tortillas that you make, completely different smell.
Yeah. Isn't that, like, say that again. Tortillas.
Tortillas?
Yeah, you got it. Tortillas.
You gotta roll your R like.
I can't do that.
It's okay.
Only when I
most Americans can't. Even as a Latina and growing up. Oops. Sorry. Even as a Latina, but growing up in the States, my R's don't roll as fast. As living in South America, the people have told me. Anyways, so flour tortillas, I definitely didn't grow up making them because my grandfather had basically he had a Mexican foods factory where they made flour tortillas, corn chips before they were even in the market. And so we would just get them from the factory because it was fresh, off the conveyor belt, right? We always had tortillas in the house. But here we are, COVID times, and people are making their sourdoughs and I don't know what, and I'm not going out to eat. So I'm like, we need to have our fajita night or whatever, Taco Tuesday, whatever. So why not make, flour tortillas? And I think that if you want to make your dinner a little bit extra special, making one thing from scratch, like flour tortillas, is an extra thing to do, but that makes the meal a little special. So I would definitely recommend doing it on a weekend, a Saturday or Sunday. And you can do it the night before and fresh cook it on like a cast iron skillet. It's called a comal as well. And basically, you need something super hot, like a cast iron skillet, to like cook the flour and the fat together really fast. Just like biscuits go in the oven at a high temperature, or like you want to get that fat cooking with the flour really fast. So something nice and seasoned like a cast iron skillet is one of the key ingredients to a really good tortilla. You want that, like that, I don't know, it's like that, it's not burned, but it gets a little caramelized. So that's why there's nothing like a fresh tortilla, because it's for the first time cooked and you're not reheating it from the package.
I
so
have
that's
loved how the stuff that you make, Maribel, and we're like wanting to taste it and eat it. But I think today,
This is the
killing
one,
me. Like, I'm like,
right?
yeah.
And I like my tortillas like a little charred. Like when
Yeah,
you're
everyone does.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
an open flame. The only bad thing about having like a flat top stove or anything like that is you can't, for Spanish people, you can't cook your tortilla, because you put your tortilla like right on the open flame and cook it, like,
Oh, like
for a
you
regular,
mean,
yeah.
oh, for like Mexican cooking, like for tortillas? Yeah, I mean, if you have like a gas stove, yeah, that's ideal. But not really, because yeah, it will get burned. But like I said, a cast iron skillet is nice. But yeah, if you reheat the tortilla and you get that little charred on the open flame on the gas stove, that's excellent. So let me show you. So first, I wanted to say, like, what do you need? You really need something that really conducts heat really well, and that's a cast iron skillet. Anyone. I have like a flat one right here. But if you have like a real big cast iron skillet, like the big ones, that's good too. So that's key number one. And two, just, I think I've mentioned it before, anytime you're doing like a pie dough or any kind of like, like biscuits or quick bread like that, having this pastry cutter is nice, because it helps break up, but you could use a fork. That's not a problem. And also you can use a KitchenAid, like a standing mixer, to mix the dough, which is what I usually do. But today, because I want to show like how easy it is to do without that, that's essential. I like to have my bench scraper. So when I'm rolling out the dough, like I can easily clean, or you can have one of these mats. Either one is nice. So those, and then of course a rolling pin. You actually have to roll out the dough, but in Mexico, a lot of people, especially corn tortillas, they do it by hand. So they basically stretch the tortilla by hand, kind of like a pizza dough, like where you're stretching it by hand. So it's either or, but we're going to use a rolling pin. So yeah, and then obviously other things for mixing, a bowl and your measuring cups. So I am using pure pork lard. This is my preferred fat, and it's not for everyone, because people don't like the flavor of pork. But it depends on the fat you use. This is a really high grade pork lard, rendered from, it shouldn't be yellow. So if you go to a market and you buy the pork lard and it's yellow, that yellow is like rendered fat. That is, if you liking it, don't get grossed out, like the fat or the cellulite on your thighs. You don't want to eat that. You don't want to eat that, That's
you
like,
cut it off, but you don't want to eat it.
that's not good. That's not good fat to have. And it's the same with on an animal. Like there's different parts of the fat that are more pure. And this is a really high grade lard. It's neutral odor too. It should not smell like pork. So that's another thing. But you can also use butter. That's not a problem as well. Okay. Or you can even use ghee if people want to go totally, it's not really vegan, but they say it's vegan because it still comes from a cow, but they just cook off the casing, which bothers people's stomachs. So one of those. I don't recommend using shortening because shortening, like Crisco, yes, it'll give a nice finished product, but it'll also, it leaves like a, I don't, if you ever notice anything made with Crisco or shortening, it leaves like a film on your tongue that is not really good. So it's really good for,
She's like,
yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's like, anyways. All right, so really easy. Our ingredients are really simple. We're going to use 2 cups of flour. And so when you measure out your flour, you want to make sure that it's leveled. So either with your finger or actual level.
or a butter knife.
Yeah, a butter knife. I just use my fingers. So I let it scoop it up and then level it off. So I have 2 cups there. And then I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm using kosher.
Is with baking soda.
Huh?
I said not to be confused with baking soda.
Yeah, not to be confused with baking soda. I'm using 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm using sea salt. I want something that is really good flavored salt, kosher salt. I usually use with cooking, but because this is like an immediate, like basically a flatbread, I want it to have really good flavor. So I'm using my sea salt, and then we need milk. Not a lot of tortilla recipes have milk, but I find that the best tortillas have milk. It just adds a little bit of, you don't have to use milk, you can use water. But I feel like it adds a little bit more moisture to the dough. So I've enjoyed using milk. Again, you don't have to use, but I highly recommend it. And then just 2 tablespoons of the, and I'm pretty generous, of the lard. And this has been at room temperature for about 30 minutes.
Just don't touch your doorknobs and stuff, because then
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be completely chilled and not completely at room temperature, but just kind of, pretty malleable. So with my pastry cutter, I'm going to cut the dough into the fat into the flour, and we want it to get like pea size. And that's why it's just easier to do it in a standalone mixer, because this will go like really fast. But for people who are a little afraid working with kind of making a dough, I like to start from the basics of, just working with flour and fat. Oh, that's my coffee maker. It's turning off.
So I said the baking soda thing because when I first moved out of the house and started cooking on my own, I was making
Mix those 2 up.
I was making food one time, and my mom was like, "Oh, do 1 teaspoon of baking powder," and I was like, "Okay." So I said, "Oh, I have baking soda. I'll just use baking soda."
Oh yeah, with baking you got to be pretty.
Like it didn't turn out.
Yeah. So it should look kind of like sand, like coarse with sand, and I am just kind of breaking up the fat with my fingers. And unlike biscuits, where you're not supposed to touch the fat because of your hands being warm and melting the fat, we're going to let it rest. And ideally, I like to do my dough the night before and have it all in the rounds and everything, and let the dough rest, because even if it's a quick dough, you want the dough to rest. You know, you've been manipulating it and it needs to rest. But so it would chill in the refrigerator, even though I am mixing it here. So I feel like it's a good consistency. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but it's pretty like a croissant, basically. And then from here,
almost.
What's that?
You can see the texture.
Oh, good. So, and from there,
Angel is not like part of the show today. She is just like all about like, okay, what else did she do?
And now I'm just like
writing exactly everything down. She's like, I'm making it tomorrow morning for my family.
Good. So
you just always bring such fun recipes that are so like, I can do this. I can do this.
You can do it. You absolutely can do it. So, so we're going to add milk, and it calls for a cup or let's see, a whole cup of milk. But like with any dough, pie dough, you know, like the galette we did, you always want to be careful with the water or the liquid that you add to flour, because like today it's super humid in Austin. It's been raining, so I probably won't use all the cups. So I like to start with half the measurement of whatever the recipe calls for, and then mix it together. What are you laughing at?
Angel's just like, what? It's humid? We don't use all of it?
Yeah, you're in Florida, so I mean it's even more humid. So I'm going to use like a little spatula, but you could totally use your hands here. And I'm just going to kind of fold in that liquid, and it probably, yeah, I'm just going to incorporate it and let
this tomorrow morning, boy. I know it.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, I'm making homemade tortillas. I know how.
I just give you like, what a fan favorite, right? Everybody comes calling.
It's
and
such a fan favorite.
And it smells so good too. You know, like when you're
smells,
cooking and you're like, oh,
it smells so good. So I did like a catering actually for Pampered Chef. Tina, you said you used to. So on the menu, you know, you kind of have to make it a little extra. So I did tortillas with corn, and then also that I didn't make, I got it from a special place, but the flour tortillas I did make, and they loved them, even though like this lady was like, oh, I prefer not to eat gluten kind of thing. They're like,
it's something about the smell of homemade tortillas, and it's
I just think it's there is just something about dough, right? Whether
Angel loves fried dough.
Oh my, just baked dough, even like just bread or biscuits or roll, like homemade fresh, even pizza dough. Like I'm just like a dough girl, I guess. I don't know, but like
I agree. I'm the same way. So I'm just
like my never foods, right? I never like allow myself that. So when you see this and somebody's taking the time to just love on this and make it from scratch, it's
you do it once in a while. You definitely don't do it like all the time.
Carpal tunnel just watching you do that.
Well, so I feel like I like to do it better in the standalone mixer, like a KitchenAid, because I feel I don't mix it as well. I mean, I know the machine is doing all the work, but it's probably less time. But I just want to make sure that it's not like the dough is not cracked. And so you feel it, it's a little dry, but always make sure to add a little bit at a time. So that's why I'm kind of kneading it into the dough. It shouldn't be sticky, but it shouldn't be dry. So I did use
how many tortillas can you make with this little?
Like I think it's like 18. And I use I do
as much?
Yeah, I measure out or no, wait, maybe it's 12. It's 12 12. Yeah, sorry, 12.
Wow, but
It's 12 at 1.5 ounces. And I do have a scale here that I measure out. So so the dough is moist, but it's not sticking to me, but I feel it moist. Okay, so that's definitely a good indicator that we have it at the right
can you just send that,
consistency.
can you just send that to Angel, that ball?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to separate a few so that we can have it. But basically what my next step would be is to cut off and measure. And I actually weigh it at 1.5 ounces. So I'm going to do like 2. And after I get my little balls perfect, I just
Look at her.
roll
Like
it.
she just pulled it off and she's like, yep, that's what I needed. Yeah.
That I just roll it on a mat or in your hand. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be perfect because we are going to roll it out, right? So I have it here and I would make all my little 1.5 rounds and I would let it rest. And then I would like, it doesn't need to be that long, like 30 minutes. It's totally extra. But I feel like it helps the dough relax and let it give some time to chill out. So once I have all of my balls, I then would cover it and then let it relax. And then your towel should be moist so it doesn't dry out, which this is. I put a little water before. And then I will roll it out and then we're going to put it on the kamal. And you can roll them out all ahead of time and separate them with wax paper. So just wax paper sheets, roll it out and divide it.
It's like
and
a little
you can also
conveyor belt. So make the
Yeah.
dough, make all the balls, rest them.
yeah,
pull them out.
because you definitely want that freshness. But each time you like manipulate the dough, you always want to let it rest. So like I said, I like actually to do the dough one day ahead and then it's refrigerated, it's all rolled out, it's divided. So all I have to worry about, especially if I'm going to have people over, is to fresh cook it and have it ready for whatever you're going to use it for, whether it be tacos or
Keep
on the side.
the little tortilla balls like in the freezer. So like you can just pull them out when you're ready.
You
or-
know, I haven't, I would say yes, but I really haven't tried that enough to tell you for sure. I need to do that.
Oh my
because
God, we could have fresh tortilla. Well, I guess I don't know how long it would take for them to thaw, huh?
Well, not that
It's
long.
like bread. It's like bread, you know.
It is like bread. But I can't tell you for sure, but theoretically, I would think it's okay. So I'm going to roll out our 2 little balls and I just flatten it a little, make sure each side is covered with enough flour. And then from there, I'm going to cover a little bit of my rolling pin. I have my kamal, like once you know that you're going to have you're ready to cook on the cast iron skillet, you want to make sure that it's nice and preheated. Okay, like I turned it on before we started cooking or we started. So I had it on medium low, it's on right now. Once I start cooking, you want to make sure that it smokes and that's when you know it's at the right temperature.
Do you have you're just heating it. You're just no oil or
You're gonna see. You're gonna see. It'll bubble, and it will it'll turn brown. You don't want it to char too much, but it'll bubble on one side, and once it does that, then we flip it over. But you're gonna see.
Angel, you're gonna have to take pictures tomorrow or this weekend when you make them.
Okay.
So every time you roll out a dough, you want to go from your center yourself out rather than go back. And then I usually turn it if you want kind of like a semi-round dough. Okay. And that's why you want to make sure that it's nicely dusted with flour. not completely, because you don't want a lot of flour on your finished product. So thinking
so
of just
why do you only, okay, this is a new thing. This is like a technique, right? Like she's
Because
only
you're
pushing,
like this, right? You're like this.
right? Like, yeah, like you
well,
back and
so
forth.
you don't flatten it too much, and that I like to let it roll off, like as if you're going up a hill and you're like letting it go versus coming back and forth, because you could flatten it and you're like manipulating the dough too much.
I was like releasing.
Yeah, you kind of like release it. All right, so how do you know what size? So I usually like it about a hand size. My hands are kind of small, actually. That's the only things that's small on me, like my hands and my feet. My hands and my feet.
My shoulders are really nice.
We were in the green room, Angel. I said, why do you have a hoodie on? She's like, because I don't like to show my arms. She goes, but my shoulders are really sexy.
Yeah. Well,
I said, shoulders, right? I said, well, this part right here is really sexy on me.
She's like, I have one of my toes. Like this toe is really, we have this one little part. This little part.
She's like, that's the only thing that's small on me.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, does it depend on your pan size? Like, does it have to be like, if your pan size is, yay big, it has to be only half as big? Or does the pan size have anything to do with it?
No, I mean, all pan sizes are going to be good, but again, I highly recommend a cast iron skillet and not like a stainless steel.
You have your little measuring mat. It tells you how big your circle was, your tortilla, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, like 5 inches. But hand size is a good measurement. You don't want a ginormous taco, right? So hand size is pretty good.
You never know.
That's true. People also, you kind of feel how much of the flour or the tortilla gives,
My friends, we have some friends who used to live in Houston, and they had this little, it was like this little hole in the wall, little Mexican restaurant. It was like right next to a gas station, and you wouldn't even notice it. Like it was like it was so little, but we would walk over. It was practically across the street and down the block. And and they did these breakfast burritos and breakfast, I don't know, they did stuff, but I would just order just the plain, just give me a tortilla with butter on it. Like I just
wow, look at you. Very, very Mexican.
When I went to San Antonio, right? We went to this Mexican restaurant and they give you tortillas.
Those are huge.
And they were like this big. And
yeah, they are.
The guy there goes, Tina, do you want some of these tortillas? I usually take them home. And I was like, no,
yeah,
I'm at a hotel. Like I can't take them. So he goes by every table and gets all of their tortillas. He had like a stack of them. He's like, I'm taking these home to my wife. I was dying. I was like, I probably should have done the same thing and just put it in my suitcase.
So what restaurant did you go to?
Oh, I can't even tell you.
Yeah, it's okay.
It was a really big restaurant, but we went. It was like the back of the room. That's where I was speaking at. But it was that smell. Like there's just nothing like
totally
tortilla smell.
So this is about 6-inch round.
Okay. Thank you. You've got a little measurer, right?
Yeah, I do. It's about 6 inches. So I'm going to turn the camera over to the cast iron so you see that it's nice and smoky. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey,
so
do you have a cast iron skillet?
We do.
Okay. All right. So what you want to do when you lay the tortilla, you want to lay it from you away. Okay. So kind of same idea when you're rolling. You want to lay it from you away.
Okay.
That way it doesn't get like folded or whatever. So like there's some restaurants in San Antonio have like the tortilla ladies like making the tortillas. You see them like really fat. They're rolling and
That's
they
how this
put it
place
in.
was. There was a whole tortilla
Yeah.
thing in the back, and they were like, choo, 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 choo.
Yeah. So they're like laying it down. So you
Oh,
can
look,
see
it's
it.
bubbling.
Yeah.
Huh?
So you want that to happen. Again, I would have let this rest after I roll it out and even chilled, because it does help to have the chilled fat and the flour to rise easily, but it's still doing pretty well. It's all about the heat of the element that you're using, and this being a cast iron skillet. So
Well,
you
why
know,
don't
a
they
lot-
let them rest at the restaurants, right? Because they're just making them fast, right? How do they get away with that?
What's that? What's that?
At restaurants, right? They're like rolling them out and cooking them right then and there. Is there?
What was the initial question? What about it?
Yeah, they don't let them rest.
They some restaurants do, but because they have to, because otherwise they have a dedicated tortilla person to do it. Otherwise, if they
Angel,
know,
that could be your new job.
yeah.
Dedicated tortilla person.
Angel, we're hiring a tortilla person. I'm in. Can I?
So does
benefit.
Facebook
Do I get to eat all the tortillas that I can?
does Facebook ever like we went down to the Florida Keys a couple months ago or so, whenever that was, and all of a sudden on Facebook I was scrolling on Facebook and it gave me a job recommendation. I'd
Really?
never seen that before. There was like a little fish and tackle shop in the Keys who was looking for, I don't know, like a social media manager or something
The
like that.
website designer.
Yeah, and they're like, this would be a great job for you. I'm like, that was so weird. Do you know, like about a week later, it sent me a thing. They were looking for somebody to be an Easter bunny at the mall. And they thought that would be a good job for me.
I've never got that before.
So
Angel was an Easter bunny.
I'll be the Easter bunny. Well, now I'll be the tortilla lady.
Yeah. So I mean, this is definitely like more iconic color of see those like
Yeah.
charred spots, which are
Yeah.
delicious. And this side maybe was all warming up together. So and then to keep your tortillas warm, HEB has really cornered this market. Also, the Pampered Chef apparently has these. They're like tortilla warmers. These are the best. These are essential in everyone's kitchen. You put
It's like
these
a little
in.
purse for your tortilla.
They are like, they have like, it's not even aluminum. I don't know what it is, but it keeps it hot. And you can even reheat it just like that in the microwave. These are
for everything.
These are the best, and you can find it at HEB, but also apparently the Pampered Chef. So I was like explaining this I brought this to the Pampered Chef people, and I'm like, here, like the tortillas are really hot right now. And if you want to rewarm them really quick, you put them in here. And you can actually put them in the microwave no more than like 30 seconds. And she's like, yeah, we sell those. And I'm like, oh my God, you do?
That must be a new thing. I never seen that before.
Didn't it used to be like this little round plastic, like orange thing with a little?
I
lid?
do have one of those, a tortilla holder, like the
Yeah.
warmer.
Yeah.
These are even better. These
I never
really
seen that.
hold well.
A
So
little a purse for your tortillas.
yeah. So
I need to
I'm
get
gonna
one
do-
of those when I go to San Antonio next month. And then
well, yeah,
the
go to
tortillas.
HEB. Go to HEB. You will find different colors, whatever. There's like in their home goods section. You can find it at almost every HEB. So I put the other one that I did first, and I showed you how I separated them with wax paper. And that's what I usually do. If you think about like dinner parties or even just having friends over, if you have that and you're heating it, people like, ooh, ah, and then, you're like the rock star. All right. So that is,
I can smell.
That is like a perfect tortilla. That is just
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, and with
So-
some butter. Oh, yum.
some butter. For me, my favorite is just beans and cheese. So like, just mashed beans and cheese. That's always my favorite go-to. And sometimes I don't always have flour, but I usually just have bean and cheese and on a corn tortilla to make it the whole grain versus the flour, but that's also a treat too.
You make your own frijoles?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I figured you would.
No, hell no. I don't. There's not much that I buy. Canned tomatoes is always a staple in my pantry. Canned tuna, but that's about it.
Yeah, we make a lot of chorizo and eggs here,
Oh.
like with our tortillas. So
You
would-
like that?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love chorizo and egg. My kids grew up on chorizo and eggs, and they love it. Like
Yeah.
for like a
Yeah,
couple
I would just put butter on it. Like let's just put that. Let me just have that.
There's nothing wrong with that. So like I said, growing up, we had a factory, and after school we would go to the factory, and my brother would just get the tortilla and like literally put butter on it and like immediately off the conveyor belt, because it's like a heating conveyor belt. So like right off the cut, and there's nothing better.
So Maribel, you had people over for dinner last night, and did you have tortillas last night?
No, I didn't.
So somebody's missing out today on you making those fresh tortillas.
Well, you're right. I could roll these out and I could just, again, have them for later. Tonight I have another thing. Somebody's having their little birthday get together in my backyard, although it's like completely muddy. So I'm not looking forward to that. We didn't think about that. Anyways, yes, I could either save it for breakfast tomorrow or I don't know, dinner. That's why it's okay to stretch it out and let it rest. Yeah, traditionally they do roll it and put it on, but I think whenever you're making a dough like empanadas, biscuits, even pancakes, when you let that dough rest in the refrigerator, the fat and the flour have time to like congeal, so that when it hits your pan in like a cast iron skillet or whatever that's really hot, it'll rise nicely. So it's like,
so how long could you like like let it rest for a little bit? Could you leave it in there a week?
oh no, the fat will turn the cup. Yeah, just a day. The fat will the flour will turn gray.
Okay.
And it won't look pretty. So like a day, 2 maybe, but I would say a day.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try. Maybe I should try this batch and freeze it and see what happens, and I'll let you know.
Let me know. I'm the weird question of the day girl, apparently. Like, well, what about
No, absolutely not. That's a great question. So I'm gonna do what you said and get some butter really quick.
some butter?
Hold.
One moment, please. I love empanadas. Like I can make empanadas with all kind of different stuff inside the empanadas.
Empanadas are my favorite too. Yeah, must be the dough, like baked dough. I don't know.
That's the one thing that we got to stay away from, though. I think that's why a lot of Spanish girls have the.
Yeah. So like, literally just glazing this with the butter. Nothing better. Oh, I know. I usually don't make this, but honestly, during COVID, if you're gonna have tacos, might as well make it really good with a nice piece of meat, sauteed onions and poblano peppers and all these peppers. Yeah, and then you have like a really worthwhile dinner and worth the effort.
Make it yummy. Make it good.
Yeah, make it good. Make it yummy.
We're like,
It's really good. I use, like I said, I use sea salt. I think it gives the flavor of the tortilla a little extra flavor to it. And yeah, that's it. So now you know.
All right, Maribel, where do we go for cooking classes with you?
So next month I'm doing, which is like next week.
like that. It's Saturday. Like it's the day after tomorrow, next month.
Okay.
So
I have to tell you this funny little thing that happened on my Peloton. We've got these little coaches and they do their little jokes, right? They do their little entertainment. But she was playing this song that, oh shoot, I can't remember who sings it. But they're like, it's gonna be me. But when they say it, it sounds like it's gonna be May. And so she's like, I had to
Gonna
play
be-
this song.
Gonna be me.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
like, I had to play this song because it's April, but next week it's, and then the chorus came, it's gonna be May.
Oh,
It's Justin Timberlake.
oh,
Yes. It's gonna be, yeah, right. But it's gonna, so now when I hear it's gonna be May, that's all I can hear.
You wanna go out into chorus?
Yeah, yeah. So next week or this weekend, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be May.
it's gonna be May.
I cannot believe it.
I know. I really can't either. So on this Monday, like we talked last time,
Mhm.
I'm doing free classes in May. So they just need to go to my website, sign up where it says sign up, and they'll be alerted of the classes. Otherwise, they can follow me on Instagram, Cocina Maribel, COCINA MARIBEL. And then that's my call name for my website, Facebook, and YouTube and Twitter. So it'll be broadcasted, which is on Facebook. But I'd like to also put it on YouTube, and then the later replay will be on my website as well. So just like our morning show, I have those on my website, so people can catch this there as well. But being alerted class as well. So days with Maribel at 7 Central Standard Time. And I'm just going to go through some basics, but we're definitely going to learn some classics that people should have in their kitchen, like roasted tomato salsa or a pico de gallo. We're going to work on knife skills, and then actually make some things and start slow.
I love me some pico de gallo.
Yeah, and chimichurri, which is a lot of chopping, just to learn that.
In the kitchen, Tina, it sounds like.
Say what?
Yeah,
You spend a lot of time in the kitchen
I used to, well, when I had my house and I had 3 kids, I cooked every single day,
all the time. Oh,
all the time. Like they got a homemade meal every single night.
wow.
wow.
Yeah, every single night. I mean, I don't do that obviously no more because I'm single, but once I get
Yeah,
married,
but there's people in your home, like you
Right,
don't
but
live alone.
even though they're Spanish, they don't eat a lot of Spanish food. Nobody likes spicy food here.
Huh.
Mexican food, you mean?
No spice, like no seasoning. And I'm like,
Oh.
some kind of seasoning there.
Well, Maribel, this was super fun. I am like I love this. I that you did homemade
Yeah.
tamales today.
Well, this will take a nice hour. But like I said, you can have
Make sure that you have the time and make sure the person you're cooking it for is worth it.
exactly. Honestly, that's why if you're gonna make dinner, make it special. If you're gonna put a little extra effort, then people are gonna go ooh and ah over it. And I mean, you want that if you're gonna cook anyways, so might as well put a little extra love in it and do something like a flour tortilla, or something homemade.
Love, like a little.
Yeah, a little.
love.
The love is the time that you put into it, just like anything that we do for other people. I think it's worth it, and hopefully people see that effect be worth it as well.
Rushing home from work, right? To
Yeah.
get dinner on the table. And like you said, this isn't the kind of thing you do every day, but it is a nice treat. And
Although, I grew up with people, and they're of Mexican descent, and their mother would make tortillas every day for their husband.
Yeah.
Like I said, even when we sold the factory, my mom didn't do that. She cooked for us every day, but I see it as like I don't know if I do it every day. I don't need to eat this every day.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I grew up a lot around Hispanic, Mexican people in San Diego, and they every single day had homemade
Every single
tortillas.
day. There are some ladies that's just their call to duty.
Yeah.
And they, but we got a lot of stuff to do.
Right? Like they would always have homemade tortillas and homemade frijoles on the stove.
Oh, well, nothing
Wow.
wrong with beans.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can't have this show go off without commenting on Tina's eyeshadow. Look at how gorgeous her makeup is.
I'm like,
wait, what?
Yeah, look at her makeup that she pulled off today. Look at how glamorous this is. Right?
looks really
And we
good.
couldn't
I have a lunch date today.
we had to pay attention to that. We could not like dismiss that because it is so pretty. It is so pretty. She got all dolled up. Actually, I was thinking she all got all dolled up for us, but no, she has a lunch date.
I mean, it's a girl, but
Do you have
no,
real people
I think people are getting out more, and I went to my first party this past weekend. It was my next door neighbor, but still, you know, it was a real
panel, but still.
it was a real party. She rented tables, she had a caterer. I mean,
she had a party.
She did.
what was she celebrating?
Her friends, who
Okay.
happens to also be a neighbor, her friend's husband, it was his birthday. He
Oh.
is in like 2 bands, and they played music, and it was like so nice. But it was actually a real party for me because I didn't know anybody there. So like, oh, shoot, like I gotta put myself in the zone, and I'm like, can I do this? Do I have the skills yet? My girlfriends were like, what did they say? You are the social I don't know, magnet. Oh, you are a social magnet. And I was like, okay, I'm a social magnet.
I'm a social magnet. Well, I don't go leave the house too much, but so today I have a lunch date with a girlfriend of mine, and I'm getting my nails done, getting a pedicure because I haven't got one in like a month. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do the whole thing in one day.
I have to go get my nails done. So hopefully.
So I think it's great. I mean, like, I feel like most people now are slowly like getting out there, which is great.
I think tomorrow in North Carolina, we're allowed to like go out of the house with no mask, which I'm like, I don't wear a mask anyway. Outside, I don't wear mask.
When I'm
I
outside.
will, but not outside.
Yeah, but a lot of people do. I do see a lot of people wearing them outside, but I don't typically wear one when I'm outside. And so is that, they're waiting, they're like crossing their fingers that becomes a thing at Disney, that they can be at Disney.
Oh, well, yeah, those are large crowds though.
I know, but that's what that's where we're like
progressing to. That's the goal. Yeah, for sure.
Because as a girl, you're putting all your makeup on, your lipstick, and you're like covering half of your face. And you're like, man, that's a waste.
It's a huge waste. I still do it. I still put on the lipstick. And
I put my lipstick on. We were out and we took our masks off at the table, and the girls were like, "You have lipstick on?" Like, why did you put lipstick on?
I always have lipstick or lip gloss or something on all the time.
Yeah, you're not gonna put it. Oh, I forgot. Taking my mask on and then put lipstick on. Come on.
Yeah, and my mask usually has like makeup and everything inside. It's crazy.
Yeah,
no, I still can't believe on Saturday is May. Like it's
gonna be May.
I'm gonna send you that clip today. I'm gonna send it to you, and you're gonna die.
I'm losing my mind. My father-in-law is here, and my mother-in-law is mad at me because I laugh at everything he says. Right? He's just got that dad.
Because you're encouraging him.
Yeah, he's got that dad sense of humor, and of course they're all new jokes to me.
Right.
Yeah,
and so she's like, "Oh, could you not? Could you not?"
Encourage him because he just and he's making bacon today.
No. It's everywhere. Okay. All right. Well, fabulous show. Maribel, did we get a call to action? Did we get everything out about your
recipe? Yeah, they need to go to my website and sign up for my newsletter.
You're still eating her tortilla.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna no.
Yeah. I've got to figure out. So we've been exercising, we've been eating a little healthier. And so once I hit like my target goal, then I have to figure out how much do I have to exercise so that I can
stay there?
Yeah, eat the stuff I really want to eat. So, I'm going to have to like how I've got to earn my tortilla, right? Like so that I don't.
I understand. I mean, I've seen like success stories where they like were really overweight and then they get really thin, but they had one cheat day once a week.
Yep.
So you could
But
do
you
once a
have,
week
like, instead of like one whole day. See, this is my thing. Like, I don't need a whole day. I
or
just
one meal,
She
whatever.
just needs a meal.
Yeah. I think that's what it usually is. But I remember seeing a lady, and I followed her on Instagram, and she did everything, and she started to become a competitive builder or whatever. She wasn't big. She was definitely petite, but just that one day she would have like the full on burger, fries, shake situation.
Oh,
next to what I have, right? Like, and then it gives you something to, okay, I'll do good today because a reward is coming. Like, we dangle that little carrot in front of us
Whatever that reward is for you.
to
Yeah.
stay on track, right? We have to like bribe
Today
ourselves.
for our lunch date, we were like, oh, where do you want to go? And I'm like, I need to go somewhere where I can have a salad.
That's good. Good for you.
Because I'm on this is like the last piece to my
She's
transformation.
lost 11 pounds.
Oh, good for you.
I mean, most of them are in my, top area.
Your top size.
I'm like, can you not
Wherever
start? Can you start somewhere else?
wherever you hold it, that's great.
I've been doing my collagen, Tina, every day for like 3 days now.
Okay, you know what I did? I took a picture of this way and this way and this way, but with no makeup that nobody will ever see.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, the laugh lines are starting to fill. I'm like,
Ooh.
no.
Oh, so are we supposed to take a before and after photo?
I always tell everybody to take a before and after picture just
Because
for
you won't see it.
Yeah.
You won't see it in yourself at all.
At all.
Right.
Yeah, skincare regimens. Yeah, you never see it in yourself at all. You have to take those before pictures. All right, well, we have to wrap it up. I'm Angel Tussey. I am your media exposure specialist, your media matchmaker. I've got a complimentary media starter kit for you at my website, makeyourbigimpact.com. Lots of good, juicy stuff there, right? Press release ideas, attention grabbing headlines, media outlets you can reach out to. You can go and grab a copy of my book, ABCs of Exposure, everything you need, all complimentary, all in one fabulous place at makeyourbigimpact.com. We've got our media mastery bootcamp coming up in a few weeks. We do 3 times a year. So if you're interested in that, plug into that. Just plug in.
I need to put that in my calendar so I don't forget.
I got to put a postcard out today.
I know. I am Tina Torres, your client retention expert, otherwise known as a gratitude specialist. And Monday, I have a great masterclass starting. It's called Mastering Your Follow-Up. We're going to spend 5 days together, an hour every day, 1 p.m. Eastern. You can go to masteringyourfollowup.com. I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know to stay followed up online and offline. I'm even going to do a Canva tutorial for those of you who have been asking me for one, because apparently my graphics are off the chain. So you can go to masteringyourfollowup.com. It is complimentary. Go sign up. We start on Monday. We are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show. We come to you live every weekday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. We will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.